I am a welfare mom. And let me let you in on a little secret for those in the back who need to hear this from someone who's walked through it. You are one event away from this life. And guess what? That one event usually doesn't stay one event. So here's how it started for me. Not that I owe the internet an explanation. I was upper middle class, married to a VP of a company. I was married for 22 years. I have 2 children, and there were some events that transpired that led to divorce because I wasn't going to stay in certain situations. That's not the important part, though. The important part happened post-divorce. In a mountain of post-divorce conflict, I will leave certain words out. My 22-year marriage was not given alimony because of a poorly worded mediation agreement. I was a stay-at-home mom, mind you, who was homeschooling her children. I did not choose a career because I chose to support the family at home. And this was something that my ex-husband wanted me to do. Post-divorce, no alimony, no child support. I lost my job. A week later, my son fractured both feet, which required multiple doctor's visits a week and a lot of care at home. Not to mention, we're sitting in the fall of 2021, and jobs were a little bit hard to come by as far as the remote section goes. We're just getting healed from that. My daughter starts complaining of pain. Her doctor thinks she needs to see a rheumatologist. We see the rheumatologist, and she's diagnosed with a rare genetic condition called Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. She also happens to have a fracture in her lower back, and that is what's causing extreme pain. Couldn't work then either. Had to care for her pain, to the point where we almost ended up in children's for specialty pain clinics. I started to panic, and I had to tap into resources that I never knew I was going to have to tap into. Food stamps, Medicaid, financial assistance to pay rent. And when you're living a life with a really good salary, and then you're hit hard, and this is what happens, it is really hard. It is really hard because there was a time when I was married that I looked down on people who were on welfare. And just like Miss Toast, who decided to go on a rant on TikTok, of course I wasn't that bad, but we're judgmental of something we have never had to walk through. Here we are. It's 2025. This started in 2021, and I have been diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. I have jugular vein compression on both sides, which causes me to be extremely dizzy. I have dehiscence in my ears, which there are holes in my inner ears that also causes me to be dizzy. One of them is going to require surgery. I have had CSF leaks. I have had a slew of complications. I have every ologist there is, but I haven't been able to work in some time because of my health. And every time I try, it's quickly shut down. So this is why I am working on building my own business and why you're going to see me share a lot of things, because I have to make a go of it so that we stay housed, so that I can have surgery, so that my daughter can continue to have the care that she needs. It's exhausting to be flying solo. So the next time you want to assume that somebody is milking the system, just remember you're one event away from living a life you never thought you'd have to. And things are improving one step at a time. But if you'd like to buy me a coffee, the link's in my bio.
Wow, this story is a whole reality check. She literally said that you are one event away from this life. And she is right. A divorce, a medical emergency, a job loss, that's all it takes. People love to assume that everyone on welfare is lazy or irresponsible. But look at her timeline. Upper middle class, married to a VP, homeschooling her kids. She was supporting her family at home. Then divorce, no harmony, no child support. Then job loss, then a sick child, then she becomes sick herself. That's not laziness. That's life punching someone in the face without warning. And what I appreciate is her honesty. She admits she used it to judge others too. She said, we are judgmental of something we have never experienced. There it is. People talk big until it is their fridge that gets empty. Their kids that are hungry. their bank account that hits zero. And suddenly, the same bootstraps. People start Googling how to apply for SNAP. She wasn't asking for luxury. She just wanted rent paid and her kids to eat. This is a lesson America refuses to learn. Compassion shouldn't require personal suffering. Instead of looking down on people, you should be grateful that welfare programs exist because one day you might need them too.
I'm a welfare mom. I'm a woman who raised my babies with food stamps and WIC and Medicaid. I don't owe you an explanation as to my circumstances, but I'll give you one. I was raised by two incredibly intelligent, talented, horrible people who horrifically abused their children and hid behind an upper middle class facade. And so at 14, I became a mom. And at 16, I moved out of home because I was going to die if I didn't. And so at 16 years old, I lived 3 hours away from my parents with an 18-month-old child. And I didn't have a driver's license or a car or a bank account or anything. I had nothing. And I walked to work as a cashier and was thrilled to be making $5 an hour. And I walked with my baby to the grocery store and to the laundromat, and I had to get rides to all of my welfare appointments because you have to go to a whole lot of them, and you have to present paperwork of every aspect of your life, which is fine. You know, we want to make sure that there's not, fraud and abuse. And I stole clothes from the Salvation Army donation box to dress my child for 3rd grade. And I used WIC vouchers back when they were gigantic pieces of paper that nobody could miss what the fuck you were doing. And I used food stamps back when you had to rip them out of a booklet in front of everybody in the grocery store line. That's done on purpose to humiliate you. And I was a full-time college student and raising my babies. And I needed those food stamps. And when there was times that there was a government shutdown or something happened and those food stamps didn't come on time, I can remember calling people and saying, I have no food to feed my family. Can you help me? I don't know when my food stamps are going to arrive. I didn't know any other way to survive. And what, I should have starved to death? My little girl should have starved to death? I should be ashamed and humiliated and embarrassed because I needed help to move my life forward? And believe me, it took me years and years till my children were in high school to pull myself out of being on welfare. It is so goddamn fucking hard. And trust me, 90% of the people that are receiving assistance, they're not fucking enjoying it. It's not a lifestyle. It's what you got to do to survive. And it's horrible and it's humiliating. I have known people, yes, I have known people that welfare was a lifestyle. And that is such a slim, tiny percentage of the people who receive assistance. You have no idea the number of people that you are working beside that are homeless and receiving public assistance and or. You are one paycheck or two away from also being in that situation. You are closer to welfare than you will ever be to being a billionaire. So maybe check your privilege and figure out who you ought to be loyal to. Because you're never going to be in the billionaire circles. So wake up.
If the first story was humbling, this one is gut-wrenching. This woman didn't start life with privilege. She started life with trauma, abuse, and motherhood at 14, and she still fought. Working as a cashier for $5 an hour, going to work with a baby, no car, no bank account, using rich vouchers publicly, being humiliated in line because food stamps used to be designed to shame you. America has turned the word welfare into an insult. But listen to her. She said, "Should I have starved to death? Should my child have starved?" Food stamps didn't make her lazy. They literally kept her alive. And she exposed the truth many people don't want to accept. You are close to welfare than you will ever be to being a billionaire. That line needs to be posted on a billboard. Most people are one paycheck away from needing assistance. But instead of demanding better wages, affordable healthcare, and fair housing, they fight each other while billionaires sit quietly enjoying the chaos. The lesson from her story is very simple. Nobody should have to feel ashamed for surviving. Welfare exists so child don't starve, not for making strangers feel superior.
Those programs keep all of us safer and more stable. If you're mad that someone's getting help, maybe just look at why they need it, not just who they are. Think about this. A friend of mine said he grew up in a third world country, and he said that in those countries, petty theft and, pickpocketing and crimes like that are common because people have to do that to get enough money to buy food and to pay for a place to stay. That's going to happen in our country if we don't get curious about where the waste in our government really exists.
Baby, when people be like, "Girl, how you get food stamps? I wish I get food stamps." Are lying. That lady called me and said, "Ma'am," I said, "Yes, ma'am." She gonna say, "What's your address?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't have no address. I've been homeless for 3, 4, 5 months. I have nothing. My family won't let me stay with them, ma'am. I'm starving." While I'm kicked back in the mother bedroom and everything, living lovely. Then she gonna say, "Ma'am, what's your job title?" I say, "Ma'am, they won't hire me anywhere. I don't have no job. I've been putting application after application. It's just like nothing work." Yeah, the lady was on the phone. She said, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry for all of this that you're going through." She said, "We just shipped your card out. You should have about $1,000 on your card from last month and this month, and your balance and your payment every month is gonna be $300." And be like, "Thank you so much, ma'am. Like, you just don't understand how hungry I've been." Let me tell y'all something. This was wrong with y'all. I know y'all mama ain't tell y'all. Gotta tell everybody the truth.
So y'all remember that time that I got on TikTok telling y'all about the food stamps? Do y'all remember that time I got on here and told y'all about the food stamps? Why did they turn my food stamps off? And I gotta pay back $35,000. They turned my food stamp off and I gotta pay back $35,000. Now I'm aggravated because how y'all didn't know I was playing on him? Y'all just running with, but them really turned my food stamps off and I have to pay them back $35,000. I don't know where the hell I'm gonna get $35,000 from, but I have to pay them back. So y'all, watch your chopper on the internet because everything is not for the internet.
Me and my kids have been 5 days without food. 5 days ago, my food stamps were taken from me, stolen from me with no warning. Today, I get this food stamp letter from the fucking food stamp office telling me not only am I losing my food stamps, I'm losing my $2,100 in cash benefits that I get every single month to pay my bills. I'm losing my Section 8. My food stamps have now decreased from $4,300 to $19 a month for 6 kids. How the hell am I supposed to feed 6 kids on $19 a freaking month? On top of having to come up with rent, because now I don't have Section 8. Cash benefits, no cash benefits. My $300 utility check that I get every single month, I will no longer be getting. We're gonna be left out on the fucking streets. They take all of my food stamps. I don't even have a fucking dollar to my name, and I have 6 kids to feed. Please tell me, how is this making America great again? Can somebody make sense? I'm so fucking pissed.
Imagine being on government assistance for 30 years and then being cut off. What do? You didn't finish high school. You never went to college. You were never married, or either you were married and now you're divorced. You have no assets. You have no savings account. And you have no skills. You don't even know how to fill out a job application because you've never held a job before. If you one of the people that's waiting for the Section 8 list to open up so you can apply now, this is not for you. We already know you worked hard for everything that you have, never needed a handout, never needed government assistance or any of that stuff. And now that the inflation is up and times are hard, you ready to get your Section 8 voucher. Just keep scrolling. Now that they're gone, back to what I was saying. I talk about healing a lot on my page because we fail to realize that healing is so much more than healing from a traumatic experience, healing from abuse, or healing from addictions. Growing up in poverty or, with a poverty background where welfare is the only option, eventually you have to heal that mindset where you only think survival. You only think scarcity. You hold on to everything because you've never had anything. When you do get money, you spend it all instead of saving or putting a little bit to the side or investing in something. You don't know how to budget because you've never had to budget. It may seem like it's too late to do anything with your life. It's too late to learn any new skills. It's too late to try to save now. I just want to tell you that that's not true. It's never too late to invest in yourself. You just have to start. And you have to start with healing from your traumas. It's not going to happen overnight. You definitely have to be intentional, and you're going to have to be disciplined. Stop procrastinating. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop having a pity party and put in the work. You can do it.
Have you ever been on food stamps?
I have.
So have I. And the food that you can get on food stamps kept me alive.
It does, but remember, you can go to a food store and you can't buy anything in the hot deli with food stamps. But you can go to Jack in the Box, McDonald's, and buy it. Which one is healthier?
There's a difference between healthy and the quantity of food that you may need to feed your kids.
Here's the thing, everything goes to mindset. If your mindset just says you can't, just because you're low income does not absolve you from the responsibility to be able to budget and plan and do things accordingly, like everybody else. It is a hand up, not a hand out. And if we keep giving, I understand what you're saying, and my heart goes out to people as well. But there is a responsibility. Each one of us gets up, we go to work, we work hard, we do what we have to do. But others aren't. And if they're not, we cannot keep giving money to people.
I just wanted to come on here and thank all the taxpayers for allowing me and my children to eat tonight. So we have some candy yams. These are canned candy yams. We have some... Why do you keep dropping your fork? We have some corn on the cob. We have some cube steak and some rice. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Why the fuck do people think that people who receive food stamps don't work? I work and I receive food stamps. It's for low-income people. That's the only difference.
You take all of my benefits away. The benefits that you have allowed me to use for 13 years with no warning at all. The government has enabled this behavior for 13 years to where I have not had to work a day in my life. 13 years of almost $10,000 a month in government aid. And now, because you signed some stupid bill that says I have to work if I want to get food stamps, and because I don't want to, you take it all away, no warning. How am I supposed to feed my 6 kids? How am I supposed to support my 6 kids? How am I supposed to pay rent? How am I supposed to get my nails done? How am I supposed to go drive down to the corner store when I have no money for gas? And you want me to go get a job, but you don't want to give me gas money. This is how the real world works? At 35 years old, now you decide you want to take it away?
After hearing all of these stories, the homeless mom, the woman who lied to get benefits, the one who got cut off, the people working and still broke, it becomes very clear. Welfare is not a lifestyle. Welfare is a lifeline. The real problem is not people receiving help. The problem is how expensive it is to be poor in America. Many people online says, just get a job. But some works and still can't afford groceries. Some are disabled. Some are single mothers with kids with no child care. Some can't find work. One woman in the video literally said, how am I supposed to feed my kids? How am I supposed to survive? This is not entitlement. This is survival. And here is what the whole video teaches us. Life is unpredictable. Welfare is not shameful. Compassion is cheaper than judgment. Low-class citizens are in the same struggle, not in the billionaire class. Welfare programs don't make people weak. They make the society stronger. When kids are fed, they can focus in school. When parents get support, they can stabilize. When families are not starving, crimes drops. Welfare is not a handout, it's a hand up. Instead of saying, why do they get benefits? Ask, why are wages so low that people working full time still need help? The problem in America is not welfare. The problem in America is empathy. And if you keep shaming people for needing help, you forget the most important truth. The system can fail anybody at any time. So that was it for today. If you've got an opinion about this video, drop it down there in the comment section. And please remember to give it a like so that more people will be recommended it in their feeds. Subscribe if you've not yet subscribed. Mr. TA signing off.